Okay, students, in this video on how to create a cone, really we're going to use the same create command, which is loft. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the sketch. So in the pyramid, we started with a rectangle. The only real difference here with the cone is that we're starting with a circle. Pretty much all the other processes are the same, using an offsetting a work plane, and then when using the loft command to connect the point to the circle. So let's go ahead and do that. And go ahead and start a new part. Start my work plane. I'm going to go ahead and place my circle. Make the diameter 1 inch. Now, if you look down here in the bottom right-hand corner, it says there are 2 dimensions needed. I wanted to point this out to you. A lot of the sketches that I have done have started on the origin point, and there's always been a reason. The computer wants to know the relationship of the sketch to the origin point. So I either have to do that by starting to draw on the origin point or by dimensioning to it. So in this case where I didn't start on the origin, what I'm going to do now is use my dimension tool. I'm going to click here on the center point and then click on the origin point. The distance away for the most of the time doesn't really matter. It just needs to be defined. In both axes. You'll now notice here in the bottom right-hand corner where my mouse is that it says fully constrained. That always tells you how many dimensions you need during that constraining step. All right, so now what we're going to do is hit Finish Sketch. Like before, we're going to come up here to the Work Features, and inside the Planes command, we're going to choose Offset from Plane. We're going to come over to the origin. We're going to choose the same plane, which is the XZ. We're going to offset by 1 inch. I'm centering it in my graphics window so you can see it better. Now I'm going to place a sketch onto the work plane. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a point on my work plane. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that it's not lined up right over top of the center point. So up here in the constraint panel, what I can do is I can select the coincident constraints, okay? And this will allow me to line up the 2 points. Now, I was sitting here thinking about it, and one of the reasons why this isn't working is because I'm actually on two different sketches. So there is a way to fix this. It's called project geometry, and what I can do is I can click on that little point right there, and it actually now will be on this sketch. And now I can actually come over here, and the 2 will line up. So I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. I'm going to hit Loft. Like before, I'm going to click to add, select my circle down here. Then I'm going to select my point and select OK. Turn the visibility off on my work plane. And there's the cone. Now I wanted to give you a bonus to this because it's so similar to what we just did with the pyramid. So I have this set up to show you. One of the neat things you can do with cones or pyramids or loft commands in general is that when you're lofting the shape, you can actually loft it to different planes. So here's a circle just like the one we just was using. I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. I'm going to go to Offset from Plane. Now this time, instead of choosing the XZ plane, which we did previously, I'm going to choose the YZ plane. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this, okay, by 1.5 inches. Now, what I'm going to do is place a point on the work plane, okay, and I can place it pretty much anywhere. And I'm just going to kind of put it off here. I'll dimension its location. Again, all I'm going to go do is back to the origin. Now, depending on my design, there may be a specific number that I want this to actually hit. But in most cases, this is kind of just random. So I hit finish sketch. Now what I'm going to do is loft again, select my circle, and then select my point. This time what you'll notice is it's taken the cone and slanted it in the direction of where my point is. And that slant is 1.5 inches out. So you get a kind of a neat way to create, I don't know, a spike or a horn or something else that might be useful in a design. I just thought I'd throw this in as an extra kind of bonus. You can play around with it and have fun. Just have me come over and check the cone before you start messing with the location of the point.